Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to the Digital Force Broadcast Network this Wednesday night. Getting down to the final 2 weeks left in the Modified Madness Tour as they roll into Charlotte, taking on the legendary Legends Oval. It's going to be a good race here as drivers got to make their statement. Christian Peterson's not showing up here tonight for the Tour Modified, but Benny Ellison is here. Who will emerge victorious? You'll have to stay tuned. We're going to go to the playing of the National Anthem when we come back. Lots of racing, 200 laps to be exact, coming your way. So stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back. ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for tuning in to the Digital Forge Broadcast Network this Wednesday night. I'm Dustin Caldwell. I'll be bringing the action as it unfolds here at Charlotte's Legends Oval Course. In the major track that you see in the Sprint Cup Series, Xfinity Series, other types of series that we have covered here in the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network taking place here. But this is a first for us to cover the Legends Oval, famously run by the Southern Modified Tour. It's where they hold their championship race. And tonight, the Modified Madness Tour, 1 week from tonight, will be their final race. And it is going to be at Irwindale, but tonight this is going to be one for the books, as Christian Peterson was looking unhopeful here tonight, said he might not show up due to not feeling too well. Has a 68-point lead over teammate Seth the Merchant, while in the light modified division, separated by 27 points, Benny Ellison leading Scott Naslin. So we'll have to see how that will play out when we go racing for 200 laps here tonight. Let's take a look at the race information as we bring it up on the screen here at the famous Concord track, Charlotte Motor Speedway. It's their Legends Oval that they have here. Take a look at that size of that track, 0.27, not even 0.3 of a mile's track. Air temperature here tonight, 65 degrees with 73% humidity. Clear skies for this wonderful race, and a track temperature matching the air at 65 degrees. What a race we can expect here. A lot of grip, though we have a lot of grip here tonight and things to be expected. It's definitely going to be one short track race you're definitely wanting to tune in for, because it will be 200 laps of some great race action taking place here tonight. Due to issues with our network last week, we were not able to cover the Concord race, one of the most difficult short tracks to be able out there to race on, and a lot of drivers will tell you that turn number 5 there at Concord is definitely a difficult one that sneaks up on you as the car tends to push up towards the wall. But I'm joined now here with the number 7 Tour Modified driver, Kyle Leveralt, taking down the Titans last week and I believe collecting a bounty out of that. Kyle, how did it feel to be able to get your first win in the series and to beat Christian Peterson and Seth the Merchant?
Dustin, I couldn't have picked a better week to get the first win in the CRA Mod Tour. Got the bounty, got Christian, got Seth. I mean, it's just a really big deal.
Definitely was a heartbreaker that we weren't able to cover that race, but excellent job, well done. While we got you on the line, is there anything you'd like to say about the Modified Madness Tour, or is there any shout-outs you'd like to give?
That's all right about the technical difficulties last week. Honestly, I was so shocked that I actually got the win. I don't think I really would have known what to say at the time, but I'm just happy for it. I'd like to thank Kyle for all that he does with the league, with the bounty and everything. It was a big incentive to try to come out and get these top guns out here. I've got my Dunleavy's truck and trailer repair car out there tonight, hashtag race for Harambe. I'm going to try to make it happen.
All right, well, best of luck to you. 200 laps at this just under 0.3 of a mile track here at the Legends Oval, and we wish you the best of luck, and hopefully you can get a 2-bagger here before it's all said and done.
Thanks, Dustin. I know Christian's not feeling 100% tonight. Hopefully I can get around Seth. It's not my best track. I'm a couple tenths behind now, so I'm just going to save my tires and try to be there at the end.
All right, well, we wish you the best of luck, and congratulations again on your victory last week.
Thanks again, Dustin.
Another part of that series last week, folks, Tanner Cook still had the bounty placed on his head in the light division, was able to hold on and get victory there at Concord. So the bounty in the lights rolls on in here to Charlotte. We'll have to see who's got it. It looks like we got a few drivers here, and one of the newer drivers, the number 70 of Davis Warren, has been an up-and-comer in this series. Pretty much has joined the last 4 weeks of this series and has looked like a powerhouse, led a lot of laps in this series. So look for that driver here. That, again, is the 70 of Davis Warren to come out here tonight. A lot of the drivers here just talking about the track. Pit Road is part of the track. It's the back straightaway in this oval course. So pretty much a flat back straightaway. A little bit of incline there around that turn 2 and turn 3 as they will be getting onto the actual front stretch of the racetrack, coming back down off of it to get onto Pit Road, which is, again, turns 4 and 2. Excuse me. Like it turns 1 and 4. I'm thinking about it backwards. 1 and 4 are where you get on the track and get off the track. So turns 2 and 3 are on pit road. So I do apologize on that. A little bit turned around here, but we'll get it straightened out, as it looks like now the qualifying has come to a conclusion. And we're going to get you the lineup here as where your drivers are going to be starting here this evening. As we pause here a moment before they head to the grid, just want to let everyone know, if you could check us out on the web, forgebroadcasting.com. Got a brand new website up there. We post up race articles about our races one night after, or the next day after a race, so you can catch all that information out there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the grid and see where your drivers are going to stand at here tonight. So for the Tour Modifieds on the pole tonight, the number 17 of Adam Rigo will be joined with Robbie Bundon to the outside. Joshua Hart, Zach Mecca will fill out that second row in the Tour Modifieds. Third row is going to start out with Seth the Merchant, part of the Six-Man Inc. crew. Brian Neff in that Winn-Dixie machine. Been a powerhouse over there in the bootleg racing leagues. He'll start to the outside of that third row. Clint Crow, Christian Peterson making an appearance here tonight, not feeling 100%, but being a trooper in the series, wanting to keep that league lead over his teammate Seth the Merchant. They'll be starting in the next row behind him. Wade Cheetah, Kyle Leverall. It's going to round out row number 5 for the Tour Modifieds. Looking further back is my gridding software does not want to take me further back beyond that. Going back behind, it'll be Benny Ellison, Tanner Cook, Austin Coop, Corey Bodnott, Davis Warren, and Scott Naslin will be your light modified drivers, and it's going to be one heck of a race. Pace car will start to take him off momentarily. As you can see, that Ode to the Star Spangled Banner car from Adam Rigo, Stars and Stripes Forever, the number 17, has the 87 of Bundon to the outside. Pace car takes him around for the first of a 2-lap pace. And again, tonight, however you're getting us, whether it's on YouTube, Twitch TV, or even out there on iRacing Live, we do thank you for tuning in to the Championship Racing Association Modified Madness Tour here from the Charlotte Motor Speedway on the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. Again, my name is Dustin Caldwell. You're going to be getting it play by play. One great story taking place next to the last race of this tour. Next week, going to be finishing it out at Irwindale. 27 points separates the leader from second place in the lights. 68 points separates two teammates in the Tour division. Who will take the checkered flag here tonight? Pace car down the backstretch. 200 laps, folks. 200 laps. There goes the pace car. Here we go. Rigo to the inside. Will be setting that pace. Bundon to the outside.
Green, green, green.
There's the green flag, and we're off to the race here at Concord. Bunches up, checkups in turns 1 and 2. It looks like Rigo's going to fire away to the inside, getting out ahead of Bundon yet again. Here comes that 95 car to the inside. Joshua Hart looking to make a statement here early on. Gets around Bundon as well as the 42 of Zach the Holy Man Mecca. Back in 4th position, Seth the Merchant, Christian Peterson. 2 teammates running in the top 5. Robbie Bundon kicked back to 7th in the first couple laps. And already some side-by-side action with the Merchant, as it looks like Mecca's going to be challenged for 3rd, and now Seth the Merchant moves up into 3rd position. Zach Mecca back and 4th. Christian Peterson, your Tour Modified Series point leader, right there in 5th position. Part of that 6-man Inc. Peterson irrigation sponsors on that car, working his way out of turn 4 into the front stretch. Let's jump back to the lights as your series point 2nd runner-up right now, Tanner Cook, currently leading the light modifieds. As he's now has Wade Cheetah, the Tour Modified driver, to the inside. Here comes Kyle Barnes. Kyle Barnes challenging Tanner Cook for the race lead in the light division. to the inside will get shut down in turns 3 and 4. Tanner will hold on to the lead. Kyle Barnes taking a look on the inside of turn number 1. Not going to be having nothing doing. And now taking a peek to the outside. Barnes is going to push just a little bit up the track. That's going to allow a little gap to get in between the two. As they roll through into the backstretch, a half a car length lead for Cook as he's ahead of Kyle Barnes. Back in third, Davis Warren. Keep an eye on this driver right here, the number 70 car, as this guy's been a powerhouse the last 4 weeks. Has problems closing the deal. Maybe he gets off a little bit less of a foot here tonight. He could seal the deal here in Charlotte. Back up to the leader of the Tour Modifieds, Adam Rigo, trying to hold on to the lead as Joshua Hart back behind him, making their way down the front stretch. He's got 4/10 of a second, almost to a half a second race lead. A little bit of light modified action there to the high side. As now Adam Rigo into turns 3 and 4, still pushing it up quick, and we are already on lap 12. That's how fast these laps are going to wind down here at Charlotte. Into the back stretch, extending his lead now up to over a half a second, almost towards 3/4 of a second. The number 17 of Adam Rigo. Total on the night, 12 laps led out of the 13. So far, 12 and a half laps complete. Tanner Cook and Kyle Barnes with a little bit of a battle in turn 2. Check up action out of the Tour Modifieds, and to the inside by the luck. The 46 of Kyle Barnes is going to take over the race lead in the light division. Tanner Cook held up in traffic out of turn number 2. And take a look at these Tour Modifieds. Bigger engines separate the Tours from the lights, but nothing is nothing here tonight as these drivers, these 2-barrel carved engines on the light Modifieds are definitely going to have the advantage in the turns. Expect a little bit of pull away from the Tours in the straightaways. But when it comes to these turns, all is equal, if not advantage lights. Oh, and we've got a turn!
Caution is out. Caution is out.
And it looks like the 34 of Corey Bodnot is going to be spun out in turn number 3. Bodnot running the light modified division here tonight. Have to go back and get you a replay on that action. Keep an eye on the green and black light modified, the number 34 of Corey Bodnot. As you can see, the major checkup in traffic, side-by-side action in turns 1 and 2. Right about here. Wade Cheetah getting right into him, and oh, take a look at that. He's going to knock Tanner Cook out of the way. Tanner Cook has to go off of pit road, actually takes out a pit cone to get back on the track. And tough break there for the 34 of Corey Bodnot. How about this guy right here, the 17 of Adam Rigo. Looking solid here tonight. At an extremely short track such as this Legends Oval, it's all about track position. This guy on the pole here tonight has gotten away from most of the chaos behind him, although he has gotten towards lap traffic early on, but he's been able to hold on to that race lead. Question is, can Joshua Hart, the 95 back there behind him, challenge him for the lead here tonight? About a 6/10 of a second gap was at the point of caution. That is going to be the question. Here's the top 5 for your Tour Modifieds. Rigo, Hart, DeMerchant, Peterson, and Neff are in the top 5. Kyle Barnes, Davis Warren, Scott Naslin, Benny Ellison, and Austin Coop round out the top 5 for your lights. Coming up in just about a month's time, folks, the CRA League is going to have a super late model series coming out. Make sure you check them out on the web, championship-racing-association.com. as they're going to have more information as now the pace car into
Green
the
flag,
pits. Here
green
we
flag.
go. Back to the green on lap 22.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
And it looks like things were not situated right yet for the lineup. So they're going to throw the caution flag out for at least one lap to allow everybody to get off of pit road. No tires to be taken here tonight. And it looks like race control didn't inform me that they added 50 laps to the lap count, as it was a scheduled 200 laps here at Charlotte, but it looks like we are doing 250 laps. Surprise, surprise, next to the last race of the year. So a little bit of lineup issues here. Race control trying to get it figured out, as they're going to stop the cars pretty much on the backstretch and allow the pace car to come around until they get the lineup figured out. So it looks like when the yellow flag flew, they're going to escort Josh Hart out to the lead, Rigo into second. So by the grace of a good restart and able to beat the flagman, Hart has gone to the race lead, and he'll pick up a few laps led here tonight. Pace car making its way around. As again, there was a little bit of lineup shifting going on here. Race control wanted to get everything situated due to some pit stop action. So the 95 of Josh Hart will go to the race lead. For the Tour Modifieds, Kyle Barnes still the leader in the lights. And it looks like it's going to be a full 4-lap pace here. Which is quality for the 95. 4 pretty much free laps. All he had to do was get a nose in front of Rigo before they threw that yellow flag. So light should be off the pace car next time by. We should be back green on lap 28. As they make their way now into the front stretch across the start-finish line, they begin bunching up with anticipation and actuation of the lights coming off that pace car. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Ready to get back at it. Again, original caution coming out with a little bit of spin from Wade Cheetah to Corey Bodnott, the Tour Modified of Cheetah into the back of the 34 of Bodnott in the light modified in turn 3. Pace car now into the pits. 95 of Josh Hart to set the pace out of 4. Here we go.
Green flag, green
Green
flag.
flag flies. We are back to the race. Rigo to the outside, check up action. 3 wide in turn 2. And to the inside, teammates of the 6th mini, Christian Peterson is going to get around in a little bit of spin out. And we got some drivers off track out of turn number 3. But how about Christian Peterson from 5th to 2nd position? Teammate Seth the Merchant holding off the 17 of Rigo, and we've got another caution flag. Out here, out of turn number 2, it was chaos. Going to go back and follow the 33 of Scott Naslin, as he seemed to be caught up in that action in turns 1 and 2. Out of 4 was knocked off the track. He's going to come back into it. And right there, Tanner Cook is going to get into Davis Warren. So let's go back and one more time take a look here from the perspective of the 18 of Tanner Cook. big checkup actions as they get into these turns. Everybody, looked like Marshall Crowell up there got a little loose. There's Naslam getting loose in 3. So as we follow the action here in the first set of turns. There, Benny Ellison into Davis Warren. Cook is just going to tag Ellison in the bumper. So between light modified points leader Benny Ellison and the newcomer Davis Warren, a little bit of checkup action in turn 1 is going to bring out the next caution flag on the night. Now, if you're the 95 of Josh Hart, you got to be a little nervous having the series dominator to the outside when you're going to restart this. But it's all about composure here at these pretty much flat tracks. Charlotte pretty much flat for the most part until you get about right there where the pace car's at, as they got to get up on the track, creating a little bit of bump action. And surprisingly, seeing some of the guys spin out on the flat section you would expect to see at the transition.
All right, man. Lights are back on the pace car. We're not going green this time. We are not going green.
A little bit of lineup action yet again here as drivers want to get in and get some fuel. Clint Crow getting the wave around. And it looks like we're going to go around one more time. Lights come off the pace car. We're going to be back green on lap 36. As newcomer Josh Hart, the 95 green and black machine to the inside, will set the pace over Christian Peterson. Peterson not feeling 100%, but he's definitely given 110 so far in this race. Starting towards the back, in second position in the first 35 laps. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen.
Green flag.
There's the green flag. We're back to the race on lap 36. And Josh Hart being sworn by 6-man Inc. to the outside and to the rear. As Seth the Merchant, the 35, teammates with Christian Peterson. But take a look at the composure of the 95, working this track really well. A little bit of checkup action from Peterson in the back of Hart, but he is harnessing these exits on these turns and keeping that lead. Take a look at that action. As now Brian Neff, back in 4th position, was challenging Seth the Merchant for 3rd. And Seth the Merchant's going to go around teammate Christian Peterson, pick up 2nd, and try to run down the 95 of Hart. Brian Neff back there in 4th position, trying to challenge now Christian Peterson. Adam Rigo, total of 21 laps led on the night, back there in your top 5. Kyle Barnes, the 46 machine, leading the light modifieds, as last week's Tour Modified winner Kyle Leverald behind him. 2 Kyles in a row. That can't be right, but it's definitely happening here in the front stretch. Wade Cheetah back there behind him. Austin Coop, 2nd position in your light modifieds, as we see the 53 car making his way to the back stretch into the 3rd turn with Clint Crow to the inside. There goes Tanner Cook. Tanner Cook's going to pick up 2nd position and try to run down Kyle Barnes. How about Joshua Hart back up front in the front stretch? Neff getting a little bit loose. That 60 Winn-Dixie machine. A little loose coming up in there in turn 4. And now Seth the Merchant putting the pressure on the 95 through turns 3 and 4. Joshua Hart has not looked back ever since he took over the race lead on a quick green to caution thrown by race control. He had a nose out over Rigo, was able to take over the race lead. And here comes Hart with the Merchant behind him. Neff able to get around Peterson, starting to pull away and catch the Merchant. The Merchant trying for the inside. Just getting a little bit of look in action there in the backstretch. Figuring out a good line to be able to pass this 95 car. Hart now can feel the pressure of the Merchant. Down the backstretch towards the 3rd turn. Lap traffic ahead as Davis Warren in the light modified. It's going to pose an issue there, is now to the inside. Warren's going to swing wide, allowing the Tour modifieds through. Here comes Seth the Merchant. Had to swing out a little bit to avoid contact with Warren. Brian Neff side by side will pass Warren on the inside. Here comes Benny Ellison, light modified points leader, just ahead of the Tour modified race leader. And now side by side in turns 3 and 4, Ellison's going to swing wide. These light modifieds do not have to yield to the Tour modifieds, folks. That is the courteousness you find. Oh, and Neff had to check up as he nearly ran into Ellison. Ellison swung wide. Scott Naslund now ahead of Joshua Hart as they make their way into turn 1. Naslund's going to swing wide. Here comes DeMerchant. DeMerchant on the back of Hart's bumper yet again. Closing under 0.2 of a second as they go through turns 3 and 4. Two wide action, Zach Mecca. And the 53 of Austin Coop. Here comes DeMerchant. He seizes the opportunity, and he goes right around, but firing back. Here comes Joshua Hart. Seth DeMerchant caught Joshua Hart sleeping at that, gazing at that lap traffic just ahead of the light modifieds, and he was able to get around him in a short amount of time before turn 3. And now Six-Man Inc. goes back to the race lead as Seth DeMerchant, the 35 machine, picks up his second lap lead here tonight. Christian Peterson back behind Brian Neff now, trying to get around the 60 machine. Neff looking to the inside of Hart. He's going to get around in a push out of Joshua Hart in turn 2. Allows the 60 car by. Here comes Christian Peterson. And there goes Hart. Some off-track action from the 34 of Corey Bodnot in the light modifieds. Jumping back to the light modifieds, Kyle Barnes, still your race leader. As Kyle Barnes back behind Wade Cheetah, can see Benny Ellison just ahead. Tanner Cook in second position now, coming out of turn number 4. So we'll give you another look. Here is Barnes out of 2. Here is Cook heading out of 2 now. Gives you a little bit of reasoning between first and second position here tonight. Short tracks or where skill is at and track position matters. Seth DeMerchant able to work around Joshua Hart, now has a total of 7 laps led here on lap 57. Brian Neff behind has Christian Peterson looking to challenge. Peterson looking to the high side of turn 1, trying for an inside pass. Oh, off the wall goes Joshua Hart. Saw Christian Peterson do that a lot in this Modified Madness Tour, and Neff's going to get it off the wall. Corey Bodnot, the light modified driver, is going to create 3 wide action as Peterson and Neff battle it out for second position in the Tour division. Neff still holding on to that second position slot. What a cluster up ahead. And there's going to be some contact made, and Robbie Bundon not happy with Zach Mecca. As you saw the little nudge there, definitely not happy with him. Let's go back and take a look from the perspective of the 42. So as we follow Zach Mecca, just to the outside of Tanner Cook, you can see Seth DeMerchant working his way around for some lap traffic. Mecca tries the inside and clips Robbie Bundon. And take a look at this. Robbie Bundon not too happy, definitely showing his frustration with Zach Mecca. Caught up in the mix, Adam Rigo. That is not a happy Robbie Bundon right there. A nose bomb, or nose dive bomb move into turn 3 from the 42 of Zach Mecca, bringing out the next caution on the night. As looks like Mecca is down on pit road, currently getting some fuel. So 62 laps completed here at Charlotte. 4 lead changes, 4 total cautions. We'll take a short commercial break, folks. We got a lot of racing still to come at you this way this Wednesday night. Stay tuned. We're going to be back right after this short commercial break.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Welcome back to Charlotte this Wednesday night for the Championship Racing Association Modified Madness Tour. Glad you could tune in to catch the action here on lap 74. While we were at commercial break, Seth the Merchant, Brian Neff got into it in the front stretch. Seth the Merchant spun out, avoided contact in turn one. Pretty much relegated to the back in that incident. No yellow flag flew as he safely got off the track and did not hang up traffic. So now Brian Neff, total of 8 laps led on the night, heading towards lap number 9. Now has Joshua Hart behind him. Christian Peterson back in 3rd position. Little drama unfolding here before we even get halfway in this race. Still been a nice green flag run here as the last flag coming out on lap 59, nearly 20 laps ago. Brian Neff in the Winn-Dixie machine crosses the start-finish line and works his way now into the backstretch. Just under 3/10 of a mile track here at Charlotte. If you're just tuning in, folks, that is how small here at the Charlotte Legends Oval this course is. And these guys are definitely hammering out these laps quick, fast, and in a hurry. Take a look at Brian Neff's fast lap time up there tonight, 14.27 seconds. That is how fast he's able to get around this oval.
Caution is out. Caution is
and
out.
it looks like Tanner Cook and Corey Bodnot are going to get into it out of turn number 2. Tanner Cook showing some frustration there with the 34 here tonight. Let's go back and capture the action on this. Little 3-wide action there with Robbie Bundon. Robbie Bundon's going to get kicked off the track. Tanner Cook's going to try to come back to the inside of Corey Bodnott. And, definitely see how hot those brakes were. Look at those calipers on the inside of that right front tire. Definitely locked up, and they're glowing orange. And it looked like, you hate to say anything was intentional, but definitely looks like some frustration there from the 18 Rockstar machine to Tanner Cook. As Tanner Cook looks like he's got some toe issues on that car. The car looks a little bit offset, just a little bit more than he would probably like. We'll have to come down pit road, get some fuel. And of course, pit road here at Charlotte is actually in the front stretch. Corey Bodnott as well down on pit road. We'll actually come back out onto the track. So the theme of the night, if you can get out in front of the action, you're pretty much in the safe spot. Just got to avoid the issues on the restart. And Brian Neff currently running up front, started 6th on the grid here tonight. Apologize, I'm battling a little bit of a nose congestion issue right now, so I apologize if I sound a little stuffy for you folks. 95 of Joshua Hart to the outside. Keep an eye on Hart. He's got a total of 30 laps led here, while Neff is just working on a total of 17. Neff will set the pace coming off of turn 4. Here we go. Pace car into the pits.
Green flag.
And there goes Neff. The green flag's out. Lap 87 under the way. Check-up action in the first couple of turns from the drivers. Nice restart. Hart to the outside of Neff. Squeezes him. Neff's going to spin out. Oh, a little drag race action. And oh,
right,
wow.
Caution is out. Caution
Kyle
is out.
Leveralt. Nowhere to go. And take a look at that smoke action there from the 60 of Brian Neff. Brian Neff got pinched by Josh Hart in the low point of turn 3, or the inside of turn 3. And a little Dukes of Hazzard moment there for the 60 car. Ends up snapping and getting up into the wall, coming out of 4. On board here. Gonna see the pinch move there. He gets loose, sends it, and oh, nearly flipping the car over. A lot of smoke there out of Brian Neff's machine as he moves out of the way for the pace car. So newcomer Josh Hart in the 95 green and black machine has Christian Peterson and Seth DeMerchant yet again behind him. Total of 35 laps led for this car. Race summary coming up on the bottom left of your screen. 89 laps completed. 8 lead change, 6 total cautions. So it looks like Wade Cheetah actually is going to be waved in front of Seth the Merchant. So the Merchant will go back to fourth. He'll start to the outside. So both Six-Man Inc. team members, Christian Peterson and Seth the Merchant, will start outside of the first two rows. Lights off the pace car. Back to green on lap 94. Josh Hart, Christian Peterson up front in the Tour Modifieds. Benny Ellison, Scott Naslin back there in the lights. Here we go. Out of turn number 4. Here comes
Green
Josh
flag,
Hart.
green flag.
There's the green flag. Hart to the inside. Cheetah behind him. Behind Cheetah is Crowell. To the outside, the Merchant. Behind Peterson.
All right, man.
And
Caution
a big
is out.
spin
Caution is
out.
out.
Coming from Robbie Bunden back there in the Tours. Let's go back and look at the action on this. Going to get the 87 car loose and bring out caution number 7 on the night. But the key point about this is, folks, Christian Peterson was able to get out ahead of Joshua Hart, so he will go to the race lead and assume the lead of the Tour Modifieds. Scott Naslin, that red 33 machine back there leading the lights, has series point leader Benny Ellison behind him. And I tell you what, folks, this is interesting because Benny Ellison only has a 27-point lead over this 33 machine right here. So Scott Naslin, pressure is on even before the halfway point of the race. Definitely see all the traffic just ahead of these light modified drivers. Tour Modifieds have got 6 cars ahead of these light leaders. Coming up tomorrow night, we'll be out on iRacing Live as well, back in action on YouTube and Twitch, covering race number 3 of the GM Parts Experts Super Late Model Series for the Sem Auto Racing Association, as I believe they're taking on Richmond tomorrow night. It's been an exciting series there as Casey Kelly able to work his way up to the race lead after a very dramatic race last week at USA International Speedway. Ty Spearman was able to come away with the victory in that race. And a lot of good car counts, 40-plus drivers showing up to partake in that Super Late Model Series. They've been only able to take about 30. So you have to tune in tomorrow night at 10 o'clock when we go live with our coverage of the GM Parts Experts Super Late Model Series here on the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network. Lights off the pace car. Back green on lap 101. Finally into the triple digits here. 7 total cautions on the night. Christian Peterson set the Merchant to the inside now as they'll head back to green.
Green flag.
There's the green flag. We are back to the race. And Joshua Hart, dominant man on the night, to the outside of the series points leader. Peterson roars down the backstretch into the third turn. Able to hold on to that race lead. The 95 has to settle up behind him coming into the front stretch. Seth the Merchant back there in third. Clint Crowell now makes his way back from the depths as he's in fourth position. Spun out early on in this race, has able to rally that car back, the 48 machine. And Christian Peterson into the backstretch towards turn number 3, looking to pick up lap number 9 in his leader mark tonight. Joshua Hart can see Seth the Merchant behind him. Like a rabbit between two wolves, this 95 car is hanging on in there, as these are two of the most aggressive and top 2 leaders in the series, and Joshua Hart in between both here on lap 105. Scott Naslin, take a look at this, has Benny Ellison behind him, but a nice little gap between the two. 4/10 of a second gap separates him. Kyle Barnes nearly getting loose out of turn number 4. And the 48 machine here tonight. Looking a little bit loose in the backstretch yet again, right on the bumper of Benny Ellison. Taking a peek as Ellison makes a hit into the wall. Here comes Brian Neff. Barnes swings wide for Neff. Neff to the inside in the backstretch. That's going to put some breathing room between Ellison and Barnes. Scott Naslin still at the race lead for the light modifieds. Here into lap 108. Looks like he's got about an 1/8 of a second gap between him and Ellison, but that is not doing much here at this track. Naslin now into the backstretch, a little pull away from the top 6 Tour Modified drivers as Neff approaches. Again, bigger engines on these Tour Modified cars only works in the straightaways. These 2-barrel carved engines on these light modifieds able to hang with the big boys through these turns. And Naslin now into the backstretch. Joshua Hart trying to catch Christian Peterson as Peterson approaches light modified driver Davis Warren. And it looked like the 53 of Austin Coote spun out, and take a look at this for the race lead. In the front stretch, here comes Joshua Hart to the inside. Slide action from Peterson, and Peterson to the outside holding on. He loves that outside lane, has used it a lot in this series, and it works to his advantage yet again as Peterson holds on. Oh, take a look at this. He's going to pitch hard with the lap car. As Warren can't swing wide, will have to stay to the low side. Peterson, tactician right there. Oh, and Hart just pushes him out of the way.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
Hart throwing up the hands in the car, says, I'm not going to take that. There's ever a point in short track racing that'll put a smile on some other driver's face, as when a driver tries to pin the second position driver behind with a lap car, as you saw Peterson do. Let's go back and take a look at this replay. Keep an eye on Peterson here as he's going to go to the outside of Warren. Warren, the 70 car, just ahead. He's going to try to use that slower, light modified car to hold up the 95 on the lower groove. So as Warren normally would want to swing wide, he has to stay low. And take a look at Joshua Hart. There goes Hart, and looks like he just gave a gentle nudge to the back of Warren to get him out of the way. Not necessarily to spin him out, per se, but just to move him out of the way into the front stretch, and unfortunately caused the 70 car to spin out. A sly move by Christian Peterson, a legal move, but a determined 95 of Joshua Hart able to hold on to that second position slot here into lap 118. Taking a look at the race summary on the screen. 13 lead changes here tonight between the two divisions, 8 total cautions. Top 5 in your tours: Christian Peterson, Josh Hart, Seth the Merchant, Clint Crowell, and Wade Cheetah. Top 5 in the lights: Scott Naslin, Kyle Barnes, Benny Ellison, Davis Warren, and Corey Bodnott. Lights come out the pace car here on lap 120. Edging closer and closer to the halfway point of tonight's race. There goes the pace car off into the pits. Christian Peterson, Joshua Hart.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag flies, here we go. And Kyle Leverott's going to spin in turn 1. Will that throw out a yellow? No, he's able to avoid it. Peterson across the start-finish line into turn 1 just ahead, but take a look at the battle here with Wade Cheetah. As Wade Cheetah battles with Seth the Merchant. And Clint Crowell gets ahead of Clint Crowell. Crowell to the inside, going to try to fire back on that lower groove. Wade Cheetah's going to hold on to that 4th position slot as Crowell follows to the 5th now.
All right, man, caution is out. Caution is out.
And another caution flag coming out tonight. We're going to follow the 42 of Zach Mecca here and see if we can capture what may have happened in this next caution. As we saw Leverott spin out earlier, has fallen back. And it looks like, so I'm getting word from race control, halfway point competition caution is going to bring all the cars down pit road if they so choose to be able to get some fuel. No tires again tonight for this 250 lap race. They can come down pit road and get some fuel if so needed. So with that being said, we're going to take a short commercial break. Allow these boys to get refueled and ready to roll. Christian Peterson on the night, total of 30 laps led. Series points leader out front. Scott Naslin trying to hold on to first. Still some more racing to come your way in the second half. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, this Wednesday night at the halfway point of the race. Went to commercial break. Was shown a little bit of what to expect. What to expect out of the Championship Racing Association. Taking a look now, currently Christian Peterson up to the race lead. A lot to expect out of this league coming up in November. That little trailer we just showed you was a preview of what to expect. Again, the most ambitious tour that this league's going to offer, a both late model and super late model series coming up this winter, starting early point of November. Christian Peterson with a total of 53 laps led now on the night. Over the 95 of Josh Hart, who has 42 laps led, back in third. Seth the Merchant, 16 total laps led. Kyle Barnes back there in the light modifieds, leading the race, as Scott Naslund's in second. Naslund needing to be ahead of Benny Ellison is doing so. Clint Crowell, the Tour modified driver, to the inside of Naslund, will move away, and that's going to bring Ellison to the bumper of the 33 of Naslund. And it looks like Christian Peterson has Robbie Bunden just ahead. Bunden currently running 7th in the Tour Modifieds, snaring a lap down as the leaders behind him. Question is, will Josh Hart harness this moment here and be able to get around the 23 of Peterson as the lap car soon to be of Robbie Bunden? Slowing up Peterson, closing the gap with Hart. Peterson looking to the inside, will look to the outside on 1. Oh, he's going to give a little bit of bump to Bunden, and that brings Hart side by side. Hart to the inside. And Bunden's there, nowhere to go, but Hart to the inside. And two guys battling for the race lead. Has a car that wants to stay on the lead lap, as Robbie Bunden's not quite ready to go one lap down. Holding off these leaders, side-by-side action between Josh Hart and Christian Peterson into the backstretch here on lap 157. Hart to the inside, working that lower groove. Peterson to the outside is going to push a little bit out of 4. He's going to hold on and get a car length lead. And Hart, what a beautiful battle between the two drivers. But give it up for Robbie Bunden, the 87, able to stay on the lead lap while these guys were battling side by side. And now Christian Peterson working his way up towards Bunden. Bunden's going to swing low underneath the light modified driver Corey Bodnott, who swings wide out of 4. Here comes Christian Peterson. Joshua Hart to the inside of Bodnott. Robbie Bunden still there in front of Peterson. And Bunden still ahead of Peterson. DeMerchant now able to get around Hart. Kyle Barnes back in the light modifieds, has Zach Mecca behind him. Little connection issues there with the 46 of Barnes. And Scott Naslund in the backstretch, still ahead of Benny Ellison. Naslin working the midpoint of the turns into the backstretch towards turn number 3. Here on lap 166, Ellison with a little bit of push as Brian Neff to the inside. That's going to have some breathing room there for Naslin, who is running second in the series points, 27 points behind Benny Ellison, who is now in third here in this race. Will definitely help his cause if he finishes ahead of Ellison heading into next week. Back up to the front of the Tour Modifieds, Christian Peterson now into the backstretch. Making his way towards light modified leader Kyle Barnes with Zach Mecca in between. And Peterson with DeMerchant behind him. Tanner Cook is going to swing wide. A lot of sway action from these drivers. Oh, near miss from Davis Warren's going to hold up Seth DeMerchant. And that's going to be a big help there to Josh Hart. Hart back in third position. Oh, and Davis Warren spinning out.
Man, caution is out. Caution is out.
With the wheel hanging on the track, race control finds that to be unsafe. We'll throw the yellow flag here on lap 172. So it was a spin out by Davis Warren. And in case you're wondering, folks, maybe you're a first-time viewer tuning in tonight to catch this modified, there is 2 different modifieds on the track. The SK modified are in this series known as the light modified, pushing out about 300 to 400 horse as they're dialed down. The Tour modified is pushing out over 600 to 700 horse, running the 4-barrel carbed engines, of the light modified is the 2-barrel carbed engines. But in this short track, the only real advantage for the Tours over the lights, as it is 2 separate races going on, the Tour modified drivers can pull away from the lights in the straightaways, but really in these short straightaways and lengthy turns, the light modified is able to hang with these Tour modifieds for the most part. As you take a look at our ticker up top, you'll notice you'll see a T by the last name of the driver and an L by the last name of the driver. T signifies Tour Modified, L is the Light Modified driver. Tour Modified drivers run the blue numbers. Light Modified drivers run the red numbers unless they're new and not understand the league schemes, as you see Joshua Hart, the 95 car, running a white with red, although he is a Tour Modified driver. That hasn't confused all the viewers out there. I just tell you, we'll try to keep you paced as they go as what's going on, as this pace car is keeping them going here into lap 177. Lights come off of the pace car heading into turn number 1. Christian Peterson, Seth DeMerchant. These are 2 teammates up front. Josh Hart, Wade Cheetah, rounding out that second row. Here we go. There's the green flag. We're back to the race on lap 178. And Wade Cheetah's going to get a helpful hand from the 60 of Brian Neff, and he's going to spin in turn 1. Let's go back and capture that action. You in closer. Wade Cheetah, MaxFire.com modified. Number 12 to the outside of Josh Hart. Brian Neff, the Winn-Dixie machine behind him, is just going to pretty much push the 12 machine right in, and Zach Mecca is going to get tagged pretty hard. And that enough to bring out the next caution flag on the night. $17 lead changes taking place here in the first 180 laps, we'll say, as they're on lap 180 now. 179 total completed. And that's between both divisions, folks. It's been more competitive up in the Tours than it has been the lights. 11 total cautions on the night. Six Man Inc. claiming top 1 and 2 in the series points and respectively here in the race. Peterson up front in the lead. Seth the Merchant in second. This guy right here in third position, Josh Hart. Total of 44 laps led so far on the night. Can he close the deal? We saw a driver last week, or excuse me, I should be correct about it. We heard about a driver last week, wasn't able to cover the broadcast. But Kyle Leverald, the number 7 car, had a chance to talk with him pre-race. Car right there. Was able to come away with victory over Seth the Merchant and Peterson last week at Concord. One of the most difficult. They call it the Mini Pocono, as there's a total of 5 turns in that track. So they'll begin bunching up as the lights should come off the pace car when we cross the start-finish line. Should be back green on lap 185. As the pace car brings them into the backstretch. Closing in on the final 50 laps of the race. And they're going to go quick.
All right, man. Like you back on the pace car. We're not going green this time.
And
we are
the
not
pace
going
car
green.
had to swing with a little bit of agricultural moving through the grass. As race controlled, playing a almost terrible trick there on the pace car driver. We'll get one more lap of pacing action. As they feel the lineup wasn't fully set up, but it is now. Peterson and DeMerchant up front. Hart and Crowell round out the front 4. There goes the pace car. And there's the green flag. We're back to the race. Peterson to the inside. Hart following. Hart now side by side with DeMerchant down the backstretch. Here comes the 95 of Josh Hart. Looking to the inside as DeMerchant pushes out a 4. Hart moves into second position. And he starts his run at the 23 of Peterson. A lot of checkup action from the drivers in turns 1 and 2. Here comes Josh Hart. Into turn number 1 now. Just about 0.6 of a second off the pace. Trying to close the gap on that 23 car. Jumping back into the lights. Take a look at Kyle Barnes right there in front of Robbie Bunton. Benny Ellison. And a change of fate has got his way around the 33 of Scott Naslin. Has 2 drivers in between. The 7 of Kyle Leverald, the Tour Modified driver, and looks to be now Brian Neff. That is your light modified series points leader, Benny Ellison. Scott Naslin with a slew of cars now, including lap traffic, in between him and the light modified series points leader.
All right, man, caution is out.
And another caution flag flying, as it's going to be a big hang-up in turns 1 and 2. I'll pick on the 18 of Tanner Cook here as we go back and take a look at the replay. And as we follow Tanner Cook, Kyle Leveralt's going to give him a bump. Brian Neff's going to be involved in a lot of checkup action. Davis Warren going to come by and give a side swipe there to the 18. So it looks like the 18 of Tanner Cook getting picked on hard here tonight from these drivers. And I think that's a little nudge back to Kyle Leveralt saying, hey, I know you were there. Let them know that he's going to be behind him. Again, 2 classes of cars. Cook running the lights, Leveralt up in the tours. Just about 6 laps from that 200 lap mark. And by mark, I mean completed laps. Had somebody ask me that one time about my broadcast, said, hey, it's 195, 200 minus 195, that's 5, right? Why do you call it 6 laps? Folks, we're talking about completed laps, not current lap. So they're currently on lap 195. As you're going to see Christian Peterson here cross the start-finish line. 195 has now been complete, and now starts the 5-lap jolt to 200. So with that being said, 55 laps remain in the race here on lap 196. Little race math for you. Because at the end of the day, that last lap, lap 250, has to be completed. It just doesn't stop when they get off 249 onto 250. They have to run out lap 250. I call it the 0 effect. If you count it from 0 to 10, you actually have 11 numbers. So the lights are off the pace car as they come down the backstretch. Christian Peterson. And take a look who's to the outside as the pace car moves in, the 95 of Josh Hart. Here we go.
Green flag
Flies. Lap 198 underway, and here comes Hart. Hart to the outside of Peterson. Hart has been effective in the inside. Let's see if he's got something for the outside. Peterson trying to mess with his mind just a little bit.
All right, man, caution is out.
And Robbie Bunden's going to be spun in turn 3. Let's go back and take a look. Here's the restart, and we're going to follow Robbie Bunden. Cheetah is going to provide a little push action. Benny Ellison, Scott Naslin, Tanner Cook, and the lights are going to be caught up in it. And Robbie Bunden picking up DraftKings late in the series. You see on his bumper there. So the pace car comes around yet again to get the lineup correct. As we watch Christian Peterson up front, Joshua Hart to the outside yet again. When we go back to green, Hart trying to work that outside groove. Here is your race summary. 200 laps complete. 19 lead changes, 13 total cautions on the night. Coming up next week will be the series finale at Irwindale. 200 laps scheduled for that race. So far, it looks like Christian Peterson has the Tour Modified division on lockdown. Been a dominant factor all series long. Teammate Seth the Merchant behind him. 68 points to be exact coming into tonight behind his teammate. So I think it's pretty much safe to say as long as Christian Peterson shows up, turns a couple laps next week. I mean, this guy here tonight was not feeling 100% coming into this race and has given it his all. And that's good enough to get him a total. Take a look at that, folks. Triple digits. 102, now 103 laps led here at Charlotte. Scott Naslin back in third behind Benny Ellison, series points leader, in second position as the lights come off the pace car. Here we go.
Green flag.
There's the green flag. And we're back to the race. And a
All right,
big
man.
checkup.
Caution is out.
Oh, my Lord. Looks like Clint Crowell. Little turtle action there out of the 48 machine. Let's go back. What? Definitely. Still, they're going to have to push that car over. I think he may have got pinched on the wall at the restart. We're going to slow the camera down for you, folks. So he's going to tag Seth the Merchant, which in turn puts him back on the wall. He's going to come up the wall. The Merchant's going to spin out. And he's going to ride the wall up and eventually turn the car over. Take a look at this. Sparks flying everywhere as the 48 of Clint Crowell comes to a stop. And it looks like Tanner Cook going to try to provide a helping hand to get him turned over. But due to the contour of the track, not able to do so. Definitely been a wild night here at Charlotte. We're going to take a short commercial break, folks. When we come back, we're going to close this one out and in style. So you want to stay tuned to catch the end of this race.
Overdrive.
How much longer do you want to wait for Dave to talk about this dart release?
Why? What's he doing?
I'm pretty sure he's playing Pokemon again.
Again?
Yes, again.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, here to Charlotte. Motor Speedway in the Legends Oval Course. For the next to last race here in the Modified Madness Tour, currently Christian Peterson up front, leading the 95 of Josh Hart in the Tour Modifieds. Kyle Barnes leading Benny Ellison in the lights. Peterson with a 4/10 to a half a second lead over the 95 car. Peterson has 1:14 on the night lead, as the 46 laps led will go to the 95 of Hart. But this race is not over, folks. Not by a long shot. As we just crossed into lap 216. He's about 35,
All right,
now
man, caution
34
is out.
laps.
Caution is out.
And it looks like Corey Bodnot's going to go for a spin. Have to go back and take a look. Looks like Clint Crowell and Robbie Bundon behind him. And Bodnot's just going to spin coming off of 4. That's going to be enough to get the caution flag thrown here late in the race. Every caution flag that flies makes it easier on this guy right here, the 23 of Christian Peterson, running the 6-man Inc. Peterson irrigation machine. Could say he's been a force to be reckoned with, a titan in the Modified Madness Tour series so far. Can't say enough about the 7 of Leveralt, coming in first last week at Concord. Kyle Barnes back there, what would you think to be third position, is actually first for the light modifieds, behind the 95 of Joshua Hart. Barnes leading here tonight. Benny Ellison in second. Scott Naslin third. Davis Warren hanging on for fourth position. Total of 120 led. Almost half the race can be credited to that 23 car. And Joshua Hart will be to the outside yet again. Lap 222 underway. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen, as Joshua Hart to the outside of Christian Peterson in turn 3. As they make their way into the front stretch, Flagman gets the signal, the green flag back in the air here on lap 223. Hart to the outside of Peterson as they work their way into the first couple turns now into the backstretch. Joshua Hart is going to fall just a bit off the pace, and around they're going to spin out in the backstretch. Big pile up. Looked like Seth the Merchant was involved in that one. We'll have to go back and take a look at the replay. Here's the restart. The Merchant on the bumper of Barnes. Seth the Merchant. And that's going to cause a slew of drivers to scatter around. These cars spun out on the track. So a little bit of friendly cooperation going on there with Josh Hart to the back of Christian Peterson, letting him know, hey, I'm right here. I'm sticking with you. As about to hit the 25 lap to go mark. Once again, we'll bring up the race summary in your bottom left. 21 total lead changes here tonight. 16 total cautions. And it's 25 laps now remaining. Can Joshua Hart beat Christian Peterson? A guy that's so tough, and he's not even 100%, folks. I think he was faking it, to be honest with you. Trying to give all these guys a little bit of uplifted spirits, saying, hey, your series points leader's not feeling well. Might not be there tonight. Just let him know in the driver's meeting he wasn't feeling well. And yet here we are, less than 25 laps to go, and the total of 125 laps led, he's up front. Give it up for the 46 car there of Kyle Barnes. Beautiful night there for that light modified driver as he's been out front for the most part. Benny Ellison, unfortunately, got caught up in a couple incidents, back in 4th position. And a little bit of lineup shifting here as the pace car moves into the front stretch. Everybody begin bunching up and the lights will come off. Again, next week, series finale for the Modified Madness Tour taking place at Irwindale. So we're going from the East Coast out to the West Coast. There goes the pace car into the pits.
Green flag, green flag.
Hard up front. Here we go. Into lap 230. 20 to go. Next time buys 3 wide action. Out of turn number 2. Scott Naslin to the outside of Davis Warren. Oh, and Joshua Hart may have just let the race slip away as he swung wide. Oh, but a saving grace caution coming out. I think I see the 7 of Kyle Leverald involved in this one. Joshua Hart, terrible mistake out of 4, pushed, and may have just had the day saved by that caution right there. So you're going to see the push. There's the push, nearly off the track from Hart. Loud weight cheated to the inside and sent the Merchant. Uncharacteristic of that 35 machine to spin out like that. And the 7 of Leverall caught up, as well as the 0-1 of Benny Ellison. So as we get under 20 laps, drama continues to unfold here at Charlotte. Should be about 15 to go when the lights come off the pace car. Joshua Hart now has the number 12 of Wade Cheat of the MaxFire.com modified machine just ahead of him. But he'll have that inside groove to work with behind Peterson. 15 to go as the lights come off the pace car, folks. Pace car now into the pits. Peterson.
Green flag,
Cheetah
green
up
flag.
front. There's the green flag. Here we go. Little checkup action there from Hart into Cheetah. Cheetah's going to push. Here comes Hart to the inside. He's going to come back up to second position. And the 95 catching the break he needs. Davis Warren with a little bit of spin out of 4.
All right, man. Caution is out.
And
Caution is
another
out.
caution flag. At this rate, ladies and gentlemen, we may have a green flag shootout before it's all said and done. Just hoping we don't end this one under the yellow. Fortunately, iRacing does not have overtime or restart methodology implemented yet, to where you can take it those quote-unquote extra laps or innings if you're a baseball fan. Kind of like what they do in NASCAR. So this race could potentially end under a caution flag, as we're going to be under 10 to go when we go back green. So the 10 lap go mark now makes its way up there on our ticker, as Christian Peterson has the hungry 95 of Josh Hart behind him. Hart able to lead a total of 48 laps up against a guy who has led 138 laps. Christian Peterson showing why he's the dominant factor here in the Modified Madness Tour in the Tour division. However, look back here at the lights. Scott Naslund still in front of Benny Ellison. A dramatic change of events, as Naslund's going to try to challenge Barnes for the light modified race here tonight. If Scott Naslund comes away with the win, just 27 points behind Benny Ellison, it's definitely going to set up for an amazing race next week in Irwindale when this series concludes. As the pace car comes across the start-finish line. Front 2 drivers ready to go. The front 4 now bunch up. Peterson to set the pace, this time by. It's going to be 7 laps to go. There goes the pace car. Peterson out of a 4.
Green flag.
There's the
flag.
green flag. 7 laps now remain. And Hart to the outside, trying to work that outside.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
And wow, a big pile up in 1. With that being said, this should give us a green-white checkered, folks. Unbelievable. Take a look who's out front. I was looking down at the score sheet, did not see that the 95 of Josh Hart was able to get around Christian Peterson when the caution flag came out. Scored up front, the 95 car. should be about a green-white checkered here tonight. Can Josh Hart, 2 weeks in a row, a non-leader car, puts Christian Peterson out of victory lane? Can he do it? Scott Naslin, with that incident, ladies and gentlemen, this just gets more wild as we progress through this night, folks. Scott Naslin now leading the light modifieds, okay? This is crazy. Scott Naslin leading the light modifieds ahead of series points leader Benny Ellison. Again, a 27-point gap between these two drivers coming into tonight. If Naslin gets the victory here tonight, one can only imagine what the series finale race at Irwindale next week is going to be like between these two drivers. Take a look at this. Newcomer Josh Hart to the Tour Modified Series. Out there in front of Christian Peterson. It's going to be a green-white checkered, ladies and gentlemen. That means we are not ending this race under caution. It is going to finish under green. When we go back green, the white flag is going to fly. A one-lap shootout. Or maybe not. Was anticipating the lights coming off the pace car, but given the fact that this is a shorter track, it looks like this one is going to finish under yellow. Building up suspense for nothing. Unfortunately, folks, do apologize for that, as I was anticipating the lights coming off that pace car. Fortunately, they didn't make it around in time for the pace car to come out to be able to have a green-white checkered. So unfortunately, well, fortunately, as the white flag now flies, Josh Hart is going to take victory for the Tour Modified. So that's 2 weeks in a row. Christian Peterson is kept out of victory lane, or even six-man ink for that matter. His teammate Seth the Merchant will finish fourth position here tonight. Scott Naslin takes victory in the light modifieds as they roll now into the front stretch. A little congratulatory bump there for Christian Peterson and Josh Hart. Celebratory fireworks off the backstretch as they come off in style. Look at all those fireworks explode. A fisheye lens flip cam that we got for you up there. And a very happy Josh Hart. And a nice burnout from a very happy 95 of Josh Hart. Scott Naslin making his way up to the front stretch is going to peel some tires for you. Oh, he's going to go up to the wall. How about that? He's trying it. He's going to change his mind. Oh, that drama just unfolds here tonight, left and right, folks. And even somebody flipping over in the infield. Tanner Cook. Go figure, that 18 car to be set near some chaos as we see Scott Naslin. And a very, very happy Josh Hart. So there is your winners here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. The 33 of Scott Naslin in the light modifieds. The 95 of Josh Hart in the Tour Modifieds. Final summary statistics, we're going to bring them up here for you. Out of the 250 laps completed, 26 total lead changes between both divisions, and a total of 20 cautions. As we bring the results up on your screen, we're going to see if we can get some interviews with some of these drivers. If they are available. And we're going to go live now. We're going to go live now with winner tonight in the light modified division, the number 33 of Scott Naslin. Definitely an exciting night for you, Scott. Able to pull away victory, though it came under caution here. A win is a win. Definitely will help your points as you were trailing 27 points behind. Series point leader Benny Ellison coming into tonight. What's it mean to you to finish out front and what we can expect next week heading into the final race at Irwindale?
Well, it feels good to win, but I think Benny's got the points wrapped up if he starts next week. But next week I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to try to stay out of trouble and try to dodge Kyle Barnes on that last restart like I did this time.
Definitely was beneficial for you, and you were able to come away with the victory in that part. Is there any thanks or shout-outs you'd like to give for your victory here at Charlotte?
Well, I'd like to thank Come and Go and Crisco Shortening and Kyle for putting it on, and you doing a race like you always do. You always do a great job.
All right, well, we look forward to seeing the epic battle that's going to take place between you and Ellison next week at the tour conclusion at Irwindale. Congratulations, Scott.
All right, thank you, Dustin. You have a good night.
There you have it, folks. The number 33 of Scott Naslin. Able to come away with victory here at Charlotte. Definitely a good night for that light modified driver. Joining me now is the Tour Modified driver winner here tonight, the number 95 of Josh Hart. What a beautiful race you had here tonight, Josh, putting up a total of 55 laps led. How does it feel to take down the league titan?
It feels great. I didn't think I had anything for him on the short run, but I felt like he was getting out in front a little bit at the beginning. But once we hit traffic and stuff, I was able to catch up to him. But I hate to win a race like that, but till iRacing puts green, white checkers, I'll take it.
Definitely take a win any way you can, though it's not really a points battle for you at this point. Still to be able to take down Christian Peterson, a guy who led here tonight a total of 141 laps. And not only that, but teammate Seth the Merchant, who at one point you were in between both drivers. Tell you, what was the pressure like for you, knowing that you had both 6-man Inc. guys on either side of you?
Oh, it was a lot of pressure, definitely. They're really fast. This is only my third race ever in a modified, so I'm going up against these guys and learning a lot from Christian. He ran a different line, and going into 1 and 3 he was running higher and he would bring it down lower, and I was trying to run his line. I just learned a lot from racing with those guys.
Well, a job definitely well done here tonight, accumulating a total, again, 55 laps on the night. You were definitely up there all night long with these drivers. Had a few incidents that put you back almost into the top 5, but you rally it back. A victory is a victory either way, even if it comes under green or yellow, and we'll take it. So is there any thanks or shout-outs you'd like to give for your victory here tonight?
Just thanks everybody who watched it, and can't wait for the next one.
Tell us real quick before we let you go, you coming to the tour conclusion next week at Irwindale?
Yes, I'll be there.
All right, well, we got a lot to look forward there from that 95 car. Congratulations again to you tonight, Josh. We look forward to seeing more out of that 95 car next week at the series conclusion.
Thank you.
What a beautiful night of racing, folks. A lot of drama on the track here tonight in the both divisions. Definitely will carry into the week, heading into next week, and again 1 week from tonight, Irwindale. Definitely the broadcast you're going to want to tune in for next Wednesday night at 9:15 p.m. as we will be live out here on iRacing Live, Twitch TV, and YouTube. However you decide to view in, that's going to be one race you're going to view in for, especially for the light modified division, as Benny Ellison and Scott Naslin are going to battle it out for that championship. Results on your screen: Josh Hart, Christian Peterson, Wade Cheetah, top 3 drivers in the tour. Scott Naslin comes away with the victory in the light modifieds. Benny Ellison in second. Davis Warren, that 70 car, still has a chance to get to victory lane next week, as he's been looking pretty solid, finishing third here tonight in all that ensued late in that race. Remainder of the field on your screen as we show you the remainder there: Brian Neff, Robbie Bundon, Zach Mecca, Tanner Cook, Corey Bodnott, Adam Rigo, and Austin Coop here at Charlotte, folks. Again, appreciate you tuning in here to the Digital Forge Broadcasting Network to catch the Championship Racing Association Modified Madness Tour. We'll be back in action tomorrow night at 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time, covering the Semi-Auto Racing Association's GM Parts Experts Super Late Model Series. That's going to do it for us here tonight, folks. I'm Dustin Caldwell saying thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you tomorrow night.